Yo, is that a Supra? Hey, what's up? You're watching Vec, and today we're checking out the 92 Twin Turbo Supra. This is one of the cars you can unlock right now through the autumn season. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to win 3 night races and it's yours. It's actually pretty good. You don't have to do much and you don't have to complete a bunch of other stuff to get the car. And it's a really wonderful car, like I must say. The Supra's a pretty legendary car, and the one that appears right now in Forza Horizon is a pretty cool one. It's not the one that you see in Fast and the Furious, but this one's still pretty legendary in and of itself. We're about to check out how it drives and everything, and this guy in front of me is just hitting everything. Bro, yo, what's wrong? You need some driving lessons? So let's go to the garage and check out some specs. Let's check out the engine, anything we could drop in it, and see if we could just make this a super overpowered car. So it looks like we can do all the goodies, including of course a twin turbo, because it comes with a stock twin turbo, so you don't have to put it in yourself. As far as stats go, it's a bit unimpressive. It's only 206 horsepower, 203 foot-pounds of torque, so that's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, I must say. The weight is about 1.5 tons. The distribution is 53%, so it's a little bit heavy on the front side, but that's something that we can deal with tuning and all that thing, so it's not that big of a deal. And the performance level sits at 543, so we have a lot to work with. As far as engines go, we have 5 choices. We have the 3.0 i6, the TT, the 6.2 V8, you have a 2.6 i6 TT, and a turbo rally, of course. The rally engine always shows up in a lot of these cars, just so you can tune up for rally and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool that this car has it as well. As far as engines, my choice is going to be the 2.6 inline 6. So let's drop that in. Drivetrain swaps. I don't like doing drivetrain swaps. I mean, all-wheel drive seems pretty cool, especially for racing, but I like to keep my drivetrains pretty stock. Body kits, what do we have? We only have the choice of 2 body kits, and that's it. Either the wide body kit for the Toyota, which is not that wide to be honest, but it is an option. I'm gonna drop it in. Engine parts, I'm just gonna start dropping in all these good parts. The first time I saw this car was actually in Gran Turismo, I want to say 2. It was one of the used cars that pop up randomly, and I've never even like heard of this car because I was something like maybe like 11 or 12. It was actually my cousin that pointed it out. He was just like, hey dude, there's a twin turbo Supra right there for sale, you can afford it. So I bought the car just because it said Supra, and then when I drove it, I was a little disappointed because it didn't look like the Supra from Fast and the Furious, but I started driving and I just fell in love with the body kit, with the whole looks of it, especially when I saw that it had pop-up headlights. I am a sucker for pop-up headlights. It's kind of a bit of a shame that you can't get those anymore. But you know, shoddy work and all that stuff from manufacturers, you know, taking shortcuts to make them cheaper, really took a toll on being able to do quality pop-up headlights, so that's probably why we don't see them anymore. As far as springs and dampeners, we have race, sports, we have rally, and we have drift. So you can't put a drift suspension on this car, so if you want to drift it, it's rear wheel drive and just drop in that drift spring and dampeners and do some tuning, and I think we can get this car to drift. However, I want to set this car for a driver, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that race suspension, some roll bars right here, put in the rear anti-roll bar as well. The chassis is something I always look at because it adds weight, and I don't want to add more weight to the car than we need to. As you can see, yes, it highlights green, but the stats don't actually really change. Because the roll cage is adding some weight, I don't want to add more weight to the car. In fact, I'm just going to leave it just like that and reduce the weight as a whole. I think that will help the car even more. It's already a decent car, so I don't think we need that roll cage right now. Clutch, race clutch, let's see, transmission. What do we have? Sports transmission, race transmission. Put in that good drive line so we can tune all this, the differential, sports diff. Actually, no, race diff, my bad. As far as wheels go, what do we have? We have pretty much the same basic options as we always do. Put those in. Tire widths, we're gonna go for some wide boys for this tires. I don't really like the rims that come stock on the 92 Supra. It just kind of they seem too basic for me. They seem just like, they look like hubcaps, to be honest. I'm gonna be real with you, they look like hubcaps to me, so we're gonna drop in some sports rim style. I'm partial to the Advance. I just really like the look of Advance, but I think I'm gonna go with, let's see, let's take a good look. And I'm gonna drop in these Volk racing wheels. You can't see it right now because I already added to my basket, but they drop 21 pounds from the weight, and I really like that. Plus, I really like the look of them, so I'm going for those Volks. What else can we do? The rim size, I'm not gonna increase those. I don't like going too big on the rim size. They look kind of I don't know, I just don't like it. I have my own opinions on it, but I'm gonna keep those to myself. If you guys like big rims, then by all means drop in big rims. Let's see what we can do for the rear wing. Not too many options. That looks horrendous. I'm sorry, Bomex, but that looks terrible. I mean, it's super 90s. I'm gonna give them that. It's super 90s, but I don't really like it. I think I'm gonna go for either stock or maybe the Forza one, just to add in a little bit weight on the back. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the Forza wing just so I can adjust the back. I'm not too worried about the front. We already did the conversion stuff. Let's drop in that cash. Install setup, yes, of course. We're gonna drop in 102 550 CRs. This is one expensive car. As far as gearing, I'm gonna leave it just like it is. I do like the looks of it. I don't need to really do anything as far as that until I actually start driving it with the brand new parts. Alignment, I'm gonna keep this towards a 0 just to keep it nice and straight. The rear camber, same thing, 0 camber, but I might actually do maybe a negative 0.3 on the front, just a little bit. No toe. Caster, I'm gonna keep it at 5%. Now to do all these anti-roll bars, springs, dampeners, the arrow, you can only do the back, of course. The brakes, I'm actually gonna keep the brake balance at 50% until I can actually tell where I need to adjust it. That's gonna come with driving. The differential deceleration, I like to go to 0 with acceleration, maybe about 80, around 85 to 80%. Adjusting it right there depending on how much you want to come out of the corner. With a rear wheel drive, I find that coming out of the corner with too much acceleration tends to spin out a little bit. You tend to oversteer, and I don't really like that. I want to be able to control my car right out of the turn. So I don't go 100% unless I feel like I really need to, but about 80 to 85% I feel it's a good spot. You can go as high as 90 if you like to, but of course deceleration again 0%. As far as figuring out anti-roll bar, springs, dampenings, and everything, I have my own equation to figure this stuff out. If you guys want to pause it as I swap through this stuff so you can kind of copy paste it, but it might look a little bit different depending on what engine, because the engine weight is going to just change all that. So I'll put the equation that I use down below in the description if you want to just do that yourself, because what my car looks like in the end is probably going to be a bit different than yours. So use the equation just to figure out your tuning for yourself. So right now for anti-roll bars, I'm looking at 32.9 on the front, 30.06 in the rear. Springs are 882 in the front, 815 in the rear, with the ride height going as low as it goes. Dampening, we're at 12 at 10.9. And the way I get my bump stiffness is I just take the rebound stiffness, multiply it by 0.6, 0.5, 0.75, whichever you like, and that's how I get my bump stiffness right off my rebound stiffness. It's pretty easy. You can figure it out like that, and then you can kind of move it up from there. The arrow, I'm going a little bit more into cornering because I really like doing tracks with a lot of cornering. I don't really do the long tracks and all that stuff too much unless it has a lot of twists and turns and a lot of stuff, because, you know, I like to drive my cars. I really like to drive my cars. So let's apply these and have ourselves a little drivey drive. So for a test track, I'm going to be doing the Edinburgh City Sprint. But in the meantime, while I'm getting there, I'm gonna have my little self a stroll through the city, give this car a little test drive, gotta get used to how it performs and all that stuff. It's pretty quick. I mean, even just down to 4th gear, we're approaching about 145, 150, and that's pretty freaking quick. I just missed that turn. Let's turn around, hit that e-brake. Ooh, look at that. That is control. No, we can go this way. It adjusted. It adjusted. And I just made cash money. All right, here we are. Let's get this race going solo. Yeah, all progress will be lost. That's fine. I can redo all that stuff. So takeoff right off the bat, it hangs on the first gear. That's something we can fix with a little bit of gearing, but acceleration is pretty good. Let me see if I can get a clear corner before I judge the cornering on this car. Alright, there I got bumped into by this guy. Again, acceleration, I really like it. I'm being left behind a little bit, but we can catch up. Let's see right here, some good cornering. Yep, look at that. It's minimal braking with this car right now. But it seems to be sliding just a little bit, so we can deal with that with the tire pressure, gets a little bit more grip. It might be a little too high, so it's not raining and all that. We're still in the autumn season. Lowering a little bit just to let the tires heat up. We'll probably fix that. If not, we could fix it with the braking. Yep, look at that. Slippy slide, but I'm still enjoying the drive of the car. This one right here is just drifting it just a little bit of a power slide. That's fine. That's something that we ourselves can control. But honestly, I'd be pretty curious as to how this car handles with a decent drift build. I might do that in the future just to get it sideways. I think we can still go a little bit heavier right out of the corner, so I might increase acceleration out of the corner a little bit more. It's not spinning out. I'm pretty happy about that. I've dealt with a lot of rear-wheel drive cars that spin out right away as soon as you hit the gas, even though you're not going too fast. So you have to go really low on the gear. You have to go down to like 1 or 2 just to get out of that corner well enough and then accelerate from there. But yeah, I think fixing up this car, doing the tuning a little bit. I haven't done any of the gearing tuning, working with that a little bit, doing a little bit more on traction and the cornering, everything would make this car an incredible racing car. It's a lot of fun. I want to compare it to the other Supra in the future. Sometime once I actually own that car, I'm probably going to do a video on how to tune that one. But this is all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the sub button for more content just like this. Hit the like if you like this video. Take care of yourselves and of each other. And as always, have a good one.